We got some rumors to talk about. We're in the rumor mill. Ow!
Sorry.
So, as you know, Avengers, the Kang Dynasty, lost its director recently. They also had a different writer on this movie.
Mm-hmm.
So the plan originally was going to have Michael Waldron, who created Loki. He was also the writer on Multiverse of Madness.
Mm-hmm.
So he was already going to write Secret Wars. So now they're adding him to make it to be the Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. So he's going to write both movies.
That makes sense, and it'll hopefully add some continuity.
Well, and I don't think they're going to do this Kang's done, we're going to do Doctor Doom thing. I don't necessarily buy into that.
Is that what the rumor is?
But
because of Jonathan Majors?
Well, it's with that Variety article coming out. That was the idea, was like they're just going to kill off Kang and do Doom. I don't know if that's necessarily true. I don't necessarily believe in that, but I think there are some creative changes happening, because usually if a director leaves a Marvel project, it's creative differences. So, I mean, proof's in the pudding. Doctor Strange, you could also Ant-Man.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm imagining that's what's happening, and I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing,
Mm-mm.
because I don't think there was any bad blood between them. There was nothing bad about it. I think he moved on to something else, and I think a lot of it, and I think a lot of it has to do with COVID and delays, and then the strikes, and then the trying to figure this shit out.
The world is vastly different from the one that Endgame came out in.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what how many years ago now? 6? 5?
4.
I mean, we're night and day.
It'll be 5 this coming year.
It was before COVID.
Yeah.
And you think about that more. I think more than anything is how vastly and different the world is, whether you like it or not, now than it was then, has got to subconsciously have an effect on fans of the MCU and critics, in the respect that, like, it's too disjointed, whatever. We've talked about this multiple times. The first phase was disjointed, the second one was too, right?
It didn't get really cohesive until
recently.
After the second Avengers, because that's when Feige took over completely.
I
after
thought you were
second.
talking about now, yeah.
I'm pretty sure Feige took over everything after Ultron.
Yeah, I think so. But
and that's why it was so fucking cohesive for so long. And
well, it started to get cohesive, and I think Phase 4 was a lot like Phase 1, and now we're in Phase 5, and I think now we're seeing more cohesiveness and more, interconnectedness like we did in Phase 2.
And that's why I think they're gonna have Waldron do both, and I think that was kind of the reason.
They're the guys, the Russo brothers do.
Infinity War and Endgame, yeah.
That made sense.
Well, they actually did a couple. They did. They did Winter Soldier, Civil War, yep. And then. But yeah, it makes sense. He's been in the system. He, like I said, he did Loki. He created Loki. He did Multiverse of Madness. People have issues with Multiverse of Madness. You and I both talked about it. I loved it.
What do they have issues with?
I mean.
The lesbian moms or what?
I mean,
it's probably something stupid.
I think like some of the legitimate criticisms I think are that it didn't feel like I don't think it continued the story of the first movie, and it kind of
was it
the first movie. They don't
the first Doctor Strange.
Yeah, the sorcerer. What's his name? Is D?
Mordo.
Mordo. Yeah, I was thinking of Dormammu. Yeah. Mordo, yeah.
Okay, so there's
Mordo's arc
criticism
sucks. And it goes
fair.
nowhere.
Okay, fair.
Because he makes a whole thing this is the disjointedness. He says like no more wizards, and then everything gets no, because we got to do all this stuff. And then we come back to it, and when we come back to Strange, like Mordo's like an afterthought. Yes, he shows up in the Illuminati stuff, but like,
can we just call it like it is?
It didn't feel like a Doctor Strange movie.
It didn't feel like to you?
It felt like it was serving the first Doctor Strange felt like it was its own thing. Like it was setting up. This is the magic. This is its own thing. But then after that, when he started getting entangled to more of the broader MCU, I think it kind of went away from what that first.
So that first,
like, I could see
no,
that
I
criticism.
get it, but I'm gonna go ahead and call bullshit on that, and not bullshit because it's your opinion, but I'm gonna give you a different perspective.
I don't think that.
Okay, I'm gonna give a
I'm
different.
fine with the
I'm
movie.
gonna give a different perspective. The first movie was categorized and known by and kind of famous for all of the really elaborate CGI, correct?
And the illusions and shit.
Right, yeah. That was kind of why it was its own thing and whatnot, and this one wasn't so much. Does everybody remember or forgot the part where they go through the fucking punched hole? Like that entire sequence where they go through all the different dimensions?
Yeah. I'm not saying.
Hello?
I'm just saying like that might be someone's criticism. My point is, I like.
Also, Mordo, let's be honest, Mordo as a character is stupid. He's not in the comics that much, and so is Doctor fucking Strange.
Whoa, hey, you're gonna get the comments.
Whatever. Fucking Doctor Strange.
My
is kinda
point in
stupid.
all of this was to say that I liked his work.
Never sold well.
I've liked his work with Marvel already.
They tried to put him in a book with Cloak and Dagger to sell some sort of stuff, but Cloak and Dagger sucks too. Sorry.
Wow.
Well, they do.
Wow.
The Freeform show was pretty darn good, but generally, Cloak and Dagger is
they're gonna
a product of a time.
I'll eat your ass.
Yeah. Can't wait.
and then you're gonna say,
Finish it! Finish it!
Jesus, I'm sorry.
Spread my cheeks. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.